Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk about RAD-140, my experience with it, and my opinion on that particular SARM. As you guys know, I have a landing page with a whole bunch of different companies on there. So if you guys are wanting to know the brands that I like, that I use, that I recommend, you can click on the link in the bio in the video description, or the bio if you're watching on Instagram. And there's a whole list there that I keep updated. I've added a new section to that of companies that my subscribers like and use and recommend. And I'm trying some of the products from some of those companies, so I'll keep you guys updated on those. I am at the moment trying this LGD 4033 YK11 injectable blend from Unchained SARMs. So I'll let you guys know the results on that. But this video is about RAD-140. So as you guys know, I've taken pretty much all the different SARMs over the last couple of years. I've done progress videos. I've talked about, the benefits of each individual SARM. So this is kind of just an updated video on the RAD-140 as a perspective looking back after having used these products over the years and kind of comparing it to all the products, etc. So RAD-140, as you guys probably already know, is my favorite SARM. My favorite brand is Kimyo. You can get a 10% discount using that code on that landing page for whatever it's worth. Kimyo to me is like the pinnacle of product quality and purity when it comes to SARMs. And again, SARMs aren't meant for human consumption. I'm not condoning their use, but if you're going to buy SARMs for your lab rat or whatever, make sure you're buying it from a legitimate source, okay? And the sources I have on that page, I trust. That's not the point of this video. So RAD-140 gave me extreme gains in strength more than anything else, okay? The number one benefit for me was the strength gain. I did get a lot of aggression from it. It was a lot like testosterone. So for those of you who have used testosterone in the past, you probably had that feeling of aggression. For me, it lasted about a week, maybe 10 days, every time I would up my dose or start testosterone, okay? And yes, I'm on TRT year-round. If you've been a subscriber, you know that already, so I don't need to go over that. But every time I've gone above my TRT dose, like from 200 milligrams where I'm at up to like 400 or 500 milligrams, I'll feel a week or 10 days of aggression, just being pissy. You feel that, strength in the gym. You just feel phenomenal for, that week or 10 days, whatever. RAD-140 does the same thing to me, maybe even more than actual injectable testosterone. To me, having that extra oomph going into the gym really helps. Having come off cycle recently, you guys probably saw the video of me doing DECA tests, and I threw some other things in there. Trying to do a big recomp stack. After having come off that cycle at the end of November, beginning of December is when I quit. It's been really hard to stay as motivated in the gym, and I don't have that same oomph, the desire, to be working out. It's been really hard to get in there and get a good workout in. So something like RAD-140 for me really, really enhances that ability to get in there and just go through a workout. So RAD-140 is suppressive. There are a lot of people out on YouTube right now and on different forums and with various websites that talk about how, you don't need a PCT from SARMs. SARMs aren't suppressive. They won't shut you down. My experience is that RAD-140 is suppressive, definitely, especially if you're doing a higher dose like 30 milligrams a day like I was doing for a while. It's definitely going to shut down your testosterone production. Now, that only applies, obviously, if you are going at it natural. If you're already on a TRT base, you're already shut down, so that you don't have to worry about it shutting you down more, right? Okay, so likewise, if you are on TRT and you take something like RAD-140 or S23 that's even more suppressive, you're not having to worry about that shutdown because you have that endogenous testosterone in your system already from the injections, right? So you're not going to have to worry so much about a PCT. Now, in my opinion, everybody should be running a PCT all the time for every cycle, basically, even if you are on TRT, and that's kind of contradicting what I just said, but here's why. When you're on TRT as a base, it's important to be doing cycles of HCG throughout the year in order to keep your testicles working. If nothing else, it keeps them from just shriveling up to the size of a pea and disappearing, right? So running the cycles of HCG throughout the year is kind of like running a mini PCT, right? The difference between somebody on TRT and somebody that doesn't have that testosterone base who takes a SARM, when you get shut down from the SARM, you're going to need to restart your testosterone just like if you were ending a steroid cycle. So that's where the HCG comes in. But a lot of guys worry about estrogen, and I think there's too much concern about estrogen when it comes to PCT and SARMs. Okay, when it comes to steroids, yes, handling prolactin and estrogen is very important during a PCT. However, those are hormonal, right? SARMs are selective androgen receptor modulators. They're not hormonal. Okay, they're just attaching to the androgen receptors. They're not affecting an increase in estrogen. Now, that being said, the confusion comes in because if you have no testosterone in your body and your estrogen level is still at the normal level, it's going to seem like you have a high estrogen level because the ratio is out of whack. So guys go out there and instead of worrying about getting their testosterone going, they worry about knocking their estrogen down, and it throws everything off whack even more. So in my opinion, the PCT from SARMs would be HCG, and that would be about it. But anyway, that's going completely off topic. RAD-140 for me worked best at 30 milligrams per day. To me, I didn't feel a lot at 10 milligrams a day, except the aggression. I didn't see much in strength gains or muscle gains at 10 milligrams a day. 20, there was a little bit more. When I hit 30, that's when I started feeling a lot of aggression, strength gains, and I started seeing some muscle being added to my body. So overall, RAD-140 is my favorite. To me, it has the lowest side effects. It messed with my cholesterol levels just a little bit on my labs, and that was it, okay? Like I said, I'm on TRT, so I'm not having to worry about a PCT, all right? So this video was intended to be about RAD-140. Kind of got into PCT a little bit, but there you guys have it. That's my favorite SARM. If I only had one SARM or one PED to use the rest of my life, it would be the RAD-140. So there you guys have it. I also want to say I really appreciate all the support I've had from you guys over the last few months. Life has been really chaotic. As you guys know, I'm launching the supplement company, and that's taking up so much time and mental effort, and I feel more drained after my days off from work than from days at work. I actually go to work and come home feeling more rested than I do on a weekend at home because I've been so busy. So I want to say thank you again, guys, for all the support. It's been really fantastic. It's great to have. So thank you guys. I hope we see you in the next video, and take care.